Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/EntitledKarens. In today's episode, you're going on vacation? Take my kids with you. Parent parking problem. Karen demands I clean up. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. You're going on vacation? Take my kids with you. My boyfriend's cousin, his paternal uncle's daughter, has 4 children. Each of her kids is the personification of the word bratty. The said cousin refuses to discipline them and constantly makes excuses for their behavior. She's also very judgmental of our decision to not have children. She has often made some snide comments towards me, implying that I'm the selfish who is depriving my BF of the joys of raising children. For these reasons and for her generally entitled behavior, my boyfriend had cut ties with her. However, when he and I visited his parental home 3 days ago for his parents' anniversary celebration, we ran into her again. My boyfriend's dad had urged him to use this occasion to mend bridges with the cousin. So we both tried to make nice and engaged in small talk with her. During our conversation, BF mentioned that we were leaving for Melbourne for vacation in a few days. At this, cousin's eyes lit up. "Oh, that sounds like so much fun," she said. "My husband and I haven't gone anywhere since our honeymoon." She whined some more about how hard it is for them with 4 kids, if only they could afford such luxuries, etc., etc., etc. I could tell where this was going. My boyfriend probably felt sorry for her and, being the kind and generous soul that he is, offered to buy them a weekend in a resort in Abu, a hill station in the Indian state of Rajasthan. Cousin, face scrunched up, "That's nice, but why can't you just take us to Melbourne with you?" BF, getting a bit annoyed, but still patient. "Well, we want to spend some time alone together. Plus we'll be meeting some close friends there. Besides, Abu is a beautiful place. Your kids will love it." Cousin, in the annoying Karen tone, "I still don't see why you can't take us to Australia. You're being so selfish, going on this great trip and sticking your family with a cheap weekend getaway." BF's mom, cousin's name, he's making a very generous offer. Either take it or leave it. Cousin, wearing the expression that morons wear when they think they've had a bright idea, "Oh, I know. Why don't my husband and I go to Abu and you can take our kids to Melbourne?" Me, what? Cousin, it's a great idea. The kids can have fun in Melbourne with you too, and my hubby and I can enjoy a peaceful weekend. This way the kids can actually spend some time with their uncle. You never make time for them. BF, I'm offering for the last time. It's either the weekend in Abu or nothing at all. And why the hell would we ruin our vacation taking care of your kids? Cousin, how can you say that? My kids are so well behaved. You'll have so much fun spending time with them. Besides, my husband and I could really use some quiet time together. You and shy girl turned sassy don't have any responsibilities. You have no idea how hard it is to raise 4 kids. You can afford this trip. I don't see why you won't share with family. BF, one more word and you're losing my Abu offer. On hearing this, the cousin STFU. We all had dinner together and she was mercifully quiet. If only her kids had followed her example. You'd think this would be the end of it, but no. We had seriously underestimated her dedication to her Karenness. This morning, cousin showed up at my apartment with the kids in tow. I was shocked to see her, of course, and asked if something was wrong. She smiled and said, "I'm just here to drop the kids off." You're leaving tonight, right? After taking a second to recover from the shock, I asked, "Did you fall and hit your head on something? We told you we weren't taking your kids with us. What part of that did you not understand?" She then tried to convince me that my BF had called her later on and had agreed to take her kids. I knew this was bullshit and called it as such. Cousin became enraged and asked if I was going to break her kid's heart. Why would I break our promise, and how BF and I could be so cold? I called my BF and after telling him what was going on I turned on the speaker. My boyfriend proceeded to chew her out brutally, telling her he would no longer pay for their weekend getaway and that this is exactly the kind of behavior that had made him cut ties with her. She tried to get a word in but he wouldn't let her. Cousin took her kids and stormed off. BF and I are having a laugh over this and are still wondering what made her think that this plan would ever work. How was your vacation? We haven't left yet. It's 12:43 p.m. here. We'll leave at around 8. Enjoy Melbourne, it's a lovely city. If you're into cricket, the MCG tour will be a great thing to do. Docklands has some great shops and the city is easy to navigate by walking or trams. Why do people choose to have kids and when they realize that the kids are a hassle and therefore someone else needs to save them from their duties as parents? I don't get it. It's a vicious cycle. It's more work than they thought, so the kids don't get the time they need because EPs were unprepared/unwilling to put in the effort. They start behaving badly, so EPs would need to put more energy into the kids. This doesn't happen, kids start behaving even worse, rinse and repeat. I'm pretty sure that's what happened for most of the EKs on this sub. Enjoy your trip. And bet she didn't even have passports for the brats either. They couldn't have gone anywhere. And she turns down a trip to somewhere else that would have been paid for but she would have to take her kids. With her just showing up unannounced at your place, it may be a good idea to ask some neighbors or one of your parents to watch the place. People like her can be notoriously petty. I'm amazed your BF gave her such a generous offer. He must have a heart of gold, keep him close. Parent parking problem. I was originally going to post this in petty revenge, but when I typed it all out it felt a lot more like it belonged here. The first school where I taught had all parents park and walk in to pick their kids up so we could see each child going with their parent. Because this was usually pretty quick, parents made some interesting parking choices like parking behind other parked cars if they wanted to be closer. Some teachers started to complain because if they needed to leave early that day right at dismissal for an appointment or something, they would go out to find they were blocked in. Because of this we started having a police officer monitor the lot at pickup. One day he caught a parent in the handicap space without any designation. The parent didn't try to lie about needing the space, but she did tell the officer she had permission from the school, which she definitely did not. A quick chat with the principal while the mom was in the building resulted in the officer handing the mom a ticket for parking there. She started yelling and screaming and ripped the ticket up and threw it all over. Here is where the officer really made this a good story. He rewrote the ticket, along with a second for littering just for her being so rude, lying, and generally just not handling the situation well. So, now she had 2 tickets, where it was pretty likely if she had just been apologetic she may not have even gotten the first one. She did not ever park there or block any of our cars again. Parents picking up kids are the worst. I had my kids' ATA private school and the school had a very well-defined and organized pickup process. But some parents felt privileged and drove to the front of the line to cut in. The school never had the balls to confront them. Should have given her a third for being an inconvenience to the team. I have a handicapped parking placard. I only need it occasionally when my autoimmune disease is in flare mode. It always infuriates me when people park in a handicapped spot without a placard or disabled license plate. I have confronted some. Once I was in flare and the only handicap spot was taken by a big SUV with no handicap placard at a convenience store. I was getting out of my car using my cane as they were getting in their car. I asked why they parked there and they said, "Oh, we were only going to be a minute." It was a convenience stuff, nobody goes in for more than a minute. Entitlement at its best. Karen demands I clean up. Wahahaha. So I'm sitting at my desk and this Karen walks up and goes, excuse me. I confused cause 1 I don't know her and 2 not generally the way people approach Maine. She continues, why aren't you emptying your trash? I look down at my empty trash can a little confused. We do? I say. She in her hawk-like snare. Well, what about this one, holding a very full waste basket? I don't think that's Aries. Well, it's in your area. I politely reply, we have our own trash can. I point to the trash can labeled with training area trash. She then proceeds to laugh and say, well, we'll see whose job it is. I'm going to the training manager. I continue on with my morning, and a few minutes later she's back emptying the trash cans and sweeping the floor. Again, I'm confused as she's dressed in business attire. Training manager came over and says if she's gonna have such a fit about it, I told her if it bothers you that much, clean it yourself. We both laugh. He proceeds to whisper, by the way, it's facility's job. If the trashes get to full, call this number. He points to the sign on our trash can under training area trash. Oi, some people. Did she learn anything from this? I doubt it. That would be much too sensible and would suspend her Karen status. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.